Cruise on Carnival for less, so the money you saved can be used for something else.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Stick around and we'll tell you how you can save money on a Carnival cruise. We've spent plenty of that money, and we've also found ways to save during many Carnival cruises, and we're going to share that information with you right now.
That's right.
Let's start by talking about planning the cruise and, booking it, that sort of thing. So planning a cruise, I'll just say, usually I'm the one booking the cruise, but we talk about what we're going to do. Mm-hmm. I've found that usually booking a Carnival cruise, even with the economy being tight, you think like, wow, they're going to have some huge sales and stuff. They usually book out. Book up. So if you're thinking, well, I'll wait to the last minute and get a deal, you might get lucky if your schedule's flexible enough to wait to the last minute and take whatever cabin's left. But generally, I've found that the best deals are usually when the cruise is first announced. So book your cruise early, like a year or 2 years out. We subscribe to the Carnival email alerts, so we get the deals and all that stuff, and we know when there's going to be a new sailing. So we book then, and it also gives us more time to spread out our payments.
That's right.
So what's another idea to save money for booking a cruise? Maybe there's someone who can help you. Ideas about booking and planning a cruise. Anything else on that?
Sometimes if you book with a group, mm-hmm. then you're able to save some.
Yeah.
Or if there's like during the downtime of cruising.
Yeah.
When it's not the peak times, but
right.
it's the down times, you
right.
can sometimes find really good deals.
Mm-hmm.
Or
what about working with a travel agent?
Yeah,
sometimes a travel
definitely.
agent can help you find deals, and a lot of people think, travel agent, why would I pay a travel agent to do that? Well, actually, who pays a travel agent for a cruise?
The cruise lines.
The cruise lines.
Right.
So you don't pay extra. In fact, they can usually find you some really good deals, help you answer questions that you might not know, to get the best cabins, the best sailings, and sometimes you can get some onboard credits. That extra money on board comes in handy, so that can be a good thing too.
And sometimes you can get additional discounts, such as if you've are a member of the armed services.
Right.
Sometimes they'll give you discounts for that.
Yep.
Or if you're like a teacher or
mm-hmm.
a medical professional, they may give you discounts for that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's a lot of good information, and the travel agent's going to know that. Sorry.
And if you don't ask, you don't know. Sometimes they'll give you discounts because of age,
mm-hmm.
for a senior discount, or
Yay.
Or if you have kids that are a certain age, sometimes the kids
mm-hmm.
get book them for
sometimes
free.
So that's a really good reason to get on those email alerts, to be getting emails from not only Carnival Cruise Line, but if you have a travel agent, or there's websites like shipmatecruises.com, cruiseline.com.
Yeah.
So do that, and like I said, booking early is probably the biggest takeaway I would give, because Carnival Cruises, it was just came out that for 2024, the entire year of cruises they have scheduled, 80% have already been booked. Wow. And this is, as the time of this recording, it's only January.
That's
so
amazing.
Yeah, there's a lot of demand, so book early, otherwise your choices will be limited and your prices might be higher.
Right.
Let's move on to food. One of our favorite, probably our most favorite topic here on Cruise Day Fun.
Yeah.
Cruise food. How can you save money? And we haven't always been great about this, because we do like the specialty dining. But one way, I'll just say, I guess it gave away, skip the specialty dining, skip the steakhouse, or at least limit it to maybe once per cruise. Any other ideas for saving money on food? What for Carnival?
So Carnival has great, besides the buffet, they
mm-hmm.
have like Guy's Burgers.
Mm-hmm.
Burger joint.
Guy's Burger Joint on almost all their ships.
Guy's Burger Joint, and then they have these other free eating venues that you can eat at, like
mm-hmm.
the Seafood Shack.
Well, that one's not free. So let's
I'm sorry.
The pizza place that's usually next to it, either Pizzeria Del Capitano or Pizza Pirate, that's included if you go and pick it up.
Shack's Chicken, isn't it?
Shack's the Big Chicken, yeah, that's on some of the newer ships. And also, don't forget about my favorite breakfast spot, Blue Iguana Cantina. Great for breakfast or lunch.
And then you can also sometimes you can have sometimes the specialty restaurants you can have for lunch, and it's doesn't cost extra.
Yep. So a lot of ways to save on food. Basically, you'll be tempted before and during your cruise to pay extra for the food, with specialty dining and add-ons on board, just like any other cruise line. But if you stick to your plan, you can save a lot of money by just sticking to the main dining room and the marketplace buffet and the places that Joy mentioned. A lot of great tips there.
Yeah.
We got to go to what goes with food.
Drinks.
Yeah, drinks. How can you save on drinks on Carnival Cruises?
So you have to ask yourself, do you like to drink? I mean, do you like to drink water, pop, tea, coffee? If you mainly drink those, those are included in your cruise.
Yeah.
If you're more of a alcoholic drinker,
what are you saying?
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yay.
But you want to consider how much would you normally drink when you're on vacation. Like for me, I maybe drink 2 or 3 alcoholic drinks for the whole cruise.
Yeah.
Compared to Dan might like to have a beer, beer with every meal, or or a cocktail.
Yeah, I might have 2 or 3 or maybe even more than that each evening, whereas she might have that for the whole cruise. So when it comes to, they've got a great Cheers drink package that it can be great if you want to drink a lot, but if you're going to drink, I think the number we came up with is 5 or 6 per day or less. You're probably better off just paying individually. Also, they limit it to 15 drinks per day, which I think even my buddy Rick, who loves to drink and has drunk me under the table many times, probably doesn't even do 15 drinks a day. Whew. But I've heard stories that people hit that mark and then they're cut off. They can't even purchase an extra drink. That's the rule. So it's also, keep in mind with the Cheers drink package that it is, if everybody over the age of 21 in the same cabin has to purchase it. So it's not like I could purchase it for myself and not purchase it for Joy. So keep that in mind. But going back to the non-alcoholic stuff for a minute, like you said, some basic juices, water, not bottled water, but just like tap water, tea, coffee, lemonade, I think. Those are included, so you can get those. But if you want soda,
or specialty drink such as Red Bull or Gatorade
or a premium coffee, those cost extra.
But if you do like coffee, sometimes they do have coffee reward programs where you can, so every day you go get a coffee.
It's usually called, Blue Java?
Blue Java, where
that's what it's called.
After the 5th or 6th drink or whatever, you get one free.
Ask about that. I don't know if I've ever done that on Carnival, but that's, if you do a lot of the specialty drinks, then you can do that. Another thing to keep in mind is if you're a big soda drinker or you have a lot of big soda drinkers in your family, as of the time of this recording, Carnival currently does allow each passenger to bring 1 12-pack of cans of soda, energy drinks, juices, or milk. And milk, you can bring cartons of milk. Wow. They can't be more than 12 ounces for each of those drinks, and each person can only bring 12. So obviously unopened, but you can bring those on in your carry-on. So don't pack it in your suitcase that you leave curbside. You can carry it on. You can have that extra weight to carry around until you get to your room. But if you really are into soda, you can have everybody in your family bring a 12-pack of Coca-Cola or Red Bull or whatever they like, and bring it on board. You just can't bring bottles. You can't bring a 12-pack of bottles, for example. That's not allowed.
Yeah. So that's what backpacks are for. Pack it up.
Yep. And you can carry it on. Also, going back to alcoholic beverages, something I know a little bit about. When it comes to wine, including champagne, you can bring, each guest, 21 or older, can bring 1 750 milliliter bottle of wine or champagne.
Nice.
So that is, these are always changing. Check before you go, but it's right there on the facts pages for Carnival Cruise Line on their website. So a lot of good drink tips there. So, anything else on drinks, or should we move on to the next topic?
So sometimes you can pre-buy alcohol for your cabin.
Yeah, I think they've brought that back. For a while they took that away. So check with that when you go onto the Carnival website after you've booked your cruise. You can get gifts for your cabin, and this is a way to spend a little extra money, I suppose. But if you know that you're going to just want your Jack Daniels, or you're just going to want your pack of Miller Lights or whatever it is, check and see what they have available. You can have it for your room. I don't know that it's going to save you a ton, because when I looked at the pricing, the one time I tried that, my wife got me a bottle of Jameson, and unfortunately, I wasn't able to get close to getting through it, and I felt like a real waste, because you can't take it off the ship at the end. So that's alcohol abuse. So I don't think we'll do that again. Yeah. But let's move on to onboard activities and how you can save money with onboard activities. Most of the activities on board, I would say, are free. Right. They're included in the price of your cruise. Right. There are some activities on board that'll cost you extra, like bingo. Mm-hmm. Certainly playing in the casino is going to cost you extra. It might cost you more than the cruise itself if you're not very lucky. Some people swear by doing the casinos, and they get deals from the Players Club for free cruises or discounts on cruises and stuff like that, free drinks and that sort of thing. But I tend to think they're getting their money somehow. Yeah. So maybe you want to stick to the included activities to save money on board. Look for in the daily activities, which the best way to find them is by downloading the Carnival Hub app. Mm-hmm. So download the Carnival Hub app before your cruise, and you can look in the activities each day. And Joy and I both look in there. You want to tell them how that works as far as planning activities for the day?
Yeah, the app, you can heart what you want to do or like it, and then so you can match it up and say, so I'm gonna go do this.
Yeah, so if Joy says, hey, there's karaoke at 7:30, she clicks the heart. Then when I go through and look at the list, even if we're not talking about it together, I can see, she's marked that as something she wants to do. And if I mark it, she'll see that I marked it too, or I marked the trivia or whatever. So you can do that, and it's also a way to plan for activities that aren't going to cost you so much, because believe me, they're going to have activities in there that include things like going to the spa, which will cost you money, going shopping for a watch, which will cost you money, and other things that might cost extra. And if you want to save money, look for the free activities. Again, most of them are free. So let's move on. Right on cue, this kind of fits in perfectly to port days. Mm-hmm. Days where you're actually arriving somewhere, you can get off the ship. You mentioned spa. Now, a lot of times, certain venues on the ship during a port day will be closed. But the spa might be a good place to go if you want to save money on a port day, right?
Yeah. That's the best time to go to the spa, is on a port day. If you've been to a port many times before while going cruising, and you just don't feel like checking out that port because you've already been there so many times, check out the spa.
But we're talking about saving money.
I know.
On port days, sometimes they'll discount it. In fact, a lot of times it'll be cheaper on port days.
Right.
So look for the discounts, look for the special deals on port days. Let's get into port days and get off the spa talk. It's not something I personally know a lot about. Sorry, guys, gals, everybody. Anyway, port days. Now, what a lot of people do is they'll book an excursion, either through the Carnival Cruise Line or through a private party. It's going to probably cost you a little bit more if you go through Carnival, but there's guarantees that come with it. So that's what we usually do if we book an excursion. But to save money, if you're gonna just kind of look around, you can save money by doing it on your own. Mm-hmm. You don't need to book an excursion. You can just look in the port area, do some shopping, find a nice beach area, find a restaurant or a bar. You can book a cab.
Right. And sometimes when we haven't planned anything for the port, sometimes we stumble on a really good museum or just are able to have a good time just hanging out at a bar and having chips and dip, or just hanging out, or just window shopping. Sometimes just being a tourist is really fun.
Yeah.
When instead of being rush
Right.
for an activity.
Yep, and of course you want to be sure you're safe and be careful with. We've done other videos about talking about taking your ID and your money off board and that sort of thing,
Right.
and be sure you go into an area that's safe. So do your research, or at least stay close to the port. There's typically a port area that you can just do shopping, stuff like that if you want. Speaking of shopping, let's talk about onboard shopping. What would you tell people about onboard shopping if they want to save money on their Carnival cruise?
So I would recommend try and save your shopping to closer to the end, because that's when they bring out all the sales. So,
Yeah.
and they want to get rid of stuff. So that's the time, or
Yeah.
you know,
Again, look at the Hub app too, because
right.
sometimes they might have a special deal during. And also, if you're good about resisting temptation, they'll put things in the Hub app like a drawing for a piece of jewelry, or an art show, or an art auction or something like that. Now, if you're going to go and be tempted to buy something, that's not a good way to save money, but it can be some free entertainment. Plus, a lot of times they'll serve champagne or a drink to kind of get you relaxed to enjoy the experience. Just be careful not to bite on that expensive piece of art. Otherwise, with shopping on board, I've heard people say, well, it's funny how at the end of the cruise, everything costs less. This is a ship that loads up on all the supplies, and at the beginning, they're running low. So just like a store that's going to go out of business, at the end of each sailing, they do have things they want to get rid of because people didn't buy it. So that's why they do the clearance. So like Joy said, look towards the end of the cruise for really good deals in the stores on board, and the Hub app can be a good aid too. If you're watching on YouTube, comment down below, ask your questions, or share your favorite way to save on a Carnival cruise. And also, be sure to subscribe by smashing the button below on YouTube, and follow us on your favorite podcast platform. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube Music, and a new one, we're on Amazon Music now. So you can listen to our podcast many places. Just be sure to follow us. And for more on Carnival Cruises, watch this video next.
Fun, fun, fun for cruise day fun. Fun, fun, fun for cruise day fun. Podcast.